Home half of the first, and Nico Lima will lead it off for the Gales, donning that red uniform. 1-0, the Highlanders out in front after they strike first in inning number 1. And Abbott Hafar gets the start for the Highlanders here in game number 3 of the series, facing a little bit different of a lineup rolled out by head coach Greg Moore, with Nico Lima leading off. He's been the Gales' cleanup hitter for most of the season, and now elevated to the leadoff spot. And the first pitch from Hafar is ripped at and fouled down the right field line past Candiati corner. It's been a good start to the season for Nico Lima. He had one of the 3 hits yesterday. In the series, he's just one of 7, but he's still been one of the more productive guys that St. Mary's has been able to throw at the top of the lineup on a game-in and game-out basis. Lima jam shot, sprays it foul. Now he's behind 0-2. Lima, a .278 hitter so far this season with 10 hits, tied for the most on the Gales. 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. No one else in this St. Mary's lineup has more than 2 RBIs except for Lima, who has 9. 0-2. Abbott Hafar works out of the stretch, and he takes a long look in at Ethan Payne. Has the high set. He kicks and delivers, and that off-speed pitch slices down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Abbott Hafar gets the start for the Highlanders. It was a to be determined for a couple of days, and then last night it was announced Hafar would get the start. This is his first start of the season, and really his first opportunity to kind of show what he has here in his junior campaign. The 1-2 pitch, Lima fouls it off. He's already made 1 appearance, but in that 1 appearance he threw 3 pitches, faced 1 batter, gave up a base hit, and that guy was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. I came back earlier this week, as a matter of fact, as the Highlanders had a midweek game against UNLV that went into extra innings. The 1-2 pitch is fouled back again. So it's kind of an interesting line for Hafar. He's faced 1 batter, given up a hit, tossed a third of an inning, and opponents are hitting technically at 1,000 against him. 1 for 1 here on the season. But he's getting the chance to be the Sunday starter here in this 3-game series as UC Riverside looks for the sweep. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lima. And the pitch is a breaking ball. It froze him dead in his tracks. Dropped right in at the top of the zone. And Lima is down looking for out number 1. A look at the rest of the St. Mary's lineup behind Nico Lima. They'll go with Jacob Talamonte, Gio Diaz, Ryan Novus, Christopher Campos, Matt Green, Gabe Gioso, Austin Elder, and Kyle Velasquez, with Dalton Ponce doing the pitching, not the hitting here today. Up next, Jacob Talamonte, the right fielder for St. Mary's, who's bounced up and down this Gales lineup all season long, and we're just in the 10th game of the year. First pitch, he checks his swing, but that's a called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Talamonte has seen time batting first in the lineup. He has seen time batting 9th in the lineup. He has quite literally been all over this lineup for head coach Greg Moore. And that one, he pokes it foul to the left side, and he's behind in the count 0-2. Talamonte has been in the leadoff spot on 2 occasions. This is now the 3rd time that he's been batting in the 2nd spot. The 0-2 pitch is tapped softly to third. This is a tough play for Webb. Fields it with the glove, throws high, and that's going to be an infield single for Jacob Talamonte. So he reaches on what effectively became a swinging bunt over there towards third. Webb had a tough play. He opted to go with the glove instead of the bare hand, and by the time he threw to first, it pulled Calvert high off the bag. He was able to use that big 6'5" frame to come down with it, but Talamonte reaches on the infield single. Gales have their first base runner, and here comes Gio Diaz. Well, I challenge you to name me a hitter who has been off to a better start than Gio Diaz. Runner goes, he shows bunt, pulls back, throw down to second base, and he is safe. A bang-bang play at the bag, but Jacob Talamonte swipes second. And the Gales have a runner in scoring position after that first pitch was a called ball. So Talamonte in scoring position early for St. Mary's. And what better guy to have at the plate than Gio Diaz, who has been on a tear to begin the 2020 season. Batting at .474 with a couple of runs batted in. For Talamonte, his second steal of the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Diaz, and that's on the outside corner for a strike. Diaz with 18 hits. He entered the weekend ranked top 10 in the country, and he was 4 hits off the lead, which was at 19. So where he stands now, the NCAA website, it doesn't update the statistics on a daily basis, so we'll have to get a check after this series concludes, but he's got to be up there. As that pitch bends down and away, it's 2-1. He's already added 3 hits in this series, and he's just one of 2 Gales in this series to have multiple hits. Campos had a couple of hits in game number 1. But Diaz with at least 1 hit in every game and 7 games so far this year with multiple hits. He has been unreal. 2 balls and 1 strike. Talamonte dancing at second, a step off and a throw back with the second baseman Sanchez covering. Will set the defense for the Highlanders. In the outfield left to right, it's Pofic, Bohall, and Oric. Webb and De Los Reyes are on the left side. It's Sanchez and Calvert on the right, with Ethan Payne behind the dish doing the catching for Abbott Hafar. Still 2-1 on Gio Diaz. A set at the belly, and the 2-1. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it's 2-2, a good spot for that pitch. I think Diaz was looking for something more on the inner half on that one. He wasn't expecting to have to extend the zone that far out. On deck is Ryan Novus. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 UC Riverside. Relaxed stance, slightly open from the right side for Diaz. And the 2-2, off speed, misses up and in. A lot of two-seam tail to it, and the count has gone full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Diaz has not walked often this season. He's only been given a free pass twice. More times than not, he's making contact before he can run a count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. But here comes the payoff pitch by Hafar. It breaks down and away. A breaking ball in the dirt. Diaz lays off. And the Gales with an excellent opportunity here in the first. A couple of runners aboard, 1 out. And now you got a big bopper coming up in Ryan Novus. Novus batting at .263 this season. No homers and 1 RBI. A bit of a slow start, I'm sure, for Ryan compared to what he's accustomed to, especially from the season he put up 1 year ago. It's 75 hits, tied for the West Coast Conference lead 1 season ago. He also led the Gales with 13 stolen bases. First pitch, fastball outside to the senior out of Tempe, Arizona. He was named to the WCC All-Academic team last year, and he was also an All-West Coast Conference honorable mention recipient following the regular season. The Gales have him batting in the cleanup spot for the first time this year. 1 ball and no strikes. Lots of speed up there on the bases and in the box. The 1-0 is a fastball outside corner for a strike, 1-1. With the way that Greg Moore has really run the Gales so far this season, I wouldn't be surprised if St. Mary's tries to employ a little bit of a hit and run. They'll take their chances with Talamonte perhaps trying to swipe third and put a couple of men in scoring position. He's got a decent lead out there at second. It's been Sanchez's responsibility to try and hold him. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1. Looked like another fastball that time from Hafar. Well, Abbott Hafar is no stranger necessarily to the rotation. While this is his first start this year, it's his 11th career collegiate start for the Highlanders. Lifetime, his 36th appearance. He's got a record of 4-4. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and Novus swings through a good fastball on the outside corner. It's 2-2. He's got a lifetime 5.92 earned run average, but last year was where he really found his groove after a pretty tough freshman season for the Highlanders. Last year he was 4-3 with a 4.35 ERA across just north of 70 innings tossed. He struck out 54. He made 8 starts last year in a bit of a part-time role for head coach Troy Percival. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Novus shoots one into right center field. That one gets down for a base hit. Talamonte will score with ease. Diaz is up to third. They got a green light after the ball was bobbled in right center field, and Diaz comes in to score. A 2-run double for Ryan Novus, and the Gales get the lead at 2-1 here in the first. Well, what did I talk about in the opening of this game? I said if the Gales are going to get something going offensively, they need a spark from their senior leader. And they got it right there. A 2-run double from Novus. Got a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and he brought the hands in nicely and just went the other way. Good barrel control. And he gives the Gales a 2-1 lead, still with just 1 out here in the inning. And Novus bluffs, taking off. The first pitch to Christopher Campos is a called strike. It's 0-1. So Ryan Novus with RBIs 2 and 3 on the season, and a 2-run double. The Gales' first extra base hit of the weekend series. The 0-1. Same pitch, outside corner for a strike, and now Campos is behind 0-2. Campos had a good game on Friday where he was 2 for 3. He's 2 for 8 in the series overall. Does have an RBI, his first collegiate RBI. And Ethan Payne calls some time. I think he wants to run through the signs once more with Hafar. No balls and 2 strikes on Campos. Outfielders playing straight away for the freshman. And the 0-2 pitch is a bouncing ball left side. Novus goes to third base on the play, and the throw goes to first in time for the out. Novus read that one well. It's always risky whenever you're running on a bouncing ball to your side of the infield like that. You're taught to wait if it's on the left side, go if it's on the right. But Novus took off, realizing the angle that Webb had to take was going to be impossible for him to reach back across and tag him. So some heads-up base running by Novus. He's on third with 2 away, and here comes Matt Green, the designated hitter for the Gales. Boy, this would be a good spot for Matt Green to break out. First pitch, he bounces one softly to the left side, coming off the mound to Safar. He's got it, turns around, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. But some damage done. Ryan Novus with a 2-run double, getting the Gales on the board and giving them a 2-1 lead as we head to the top of inning number 2.